We should be live now.
Is it?
Yeah, so we're live again. Sorry about any problem. Sorry about the problems that we just had. For some reason, we got booted from the internet, and I'm not sure why. So our live got booted, but we are back now.
You're back in?
Yeah.
I kind of want to paint this handle red.
I think, yeah, paint it red. It'll look good.
I wonder if I can do it without it. To kind of like tie it up.
Yeah.
Is it all fixed again, or?
Yeah, it's fixed. But I don't know why the first stream we got booted. It was so weird. And now my chat's not working, so that's great.
That's the internet for you.
Yeah, it is.
That would be the internet for you.
Yeah, it was strange. For some reason, out of the blue, we were booted from our live stream. And Kathy's back with us. And I didn't even get a notification when it happened. That was the oddest thing. So what color are you painting this one?
This I'm painting them both red.
Okay.
So both the same thing. This one's just a taller can. And so the image that I want to put on the taller can is the walk-in Santa with this was the night before Christmas.
Yeah.
And I think that'll look good. Yeah. So I'm going to do the same thing on this. I'm just going to go around and give it a coat of red while my other one is drying.
Yeah, I don't know why we got booted, honestly. Anyway, so we fixed the audio issues from last week, so I won't be sounding all mushy today, I don't believe. If I am, please let me know.
All right.
Because I don't like sounding mushed up when I speak. Hey, Linda. She's from Okeechobee, Florida.
Okay. I like this can because it has like a swirl.
Is the decoupage going to go into the swirl good?
I think so, because it's not deep. It's just a little, like we'll just want to make sure that we lay it flat into each crease. Does that make sense?
That does.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to. But okay, so like I was saying, I don't know if I said it when we got cut off or not, but like I've been looking at this decoupage paper trying to find something to put it on. And originally what I was thinking about was those big giant cans, like those big giant cans of green beans and stuff that you can get. I was thinking about that because you can, clean them up, and then they would be big enough for some of these papers for sure. Then you could use them and you could put like florals on top of them, or just, a bow, that kind of stuff. But then when I was cleaning up at the store, I run across these cans and I thought, man, I think I know what I want to do.
I think it's a neat idea.
Yeah.
Lorna is from Fresno.
Fresno.
Yep, Fresno, California.
Wow.
Again, if you're just now getting back with us, we apologize. For some reason, our stream was booted. I'm not sure if it was because I may have changed when I changed the settings on the mics, it may have cut it off. I've never had it happen, so that was weird. And ow, that burn, I scratched my burn and it hurt. Linda says, I did 3D Deco 40 years ago. Haven't done that in such a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Missy enjoys it. She does a lot of it.
I do like it a lot.
I like doing weird stuff. Like Thursday, I did that book with the steampunk cover. Or
I
not
liked
Thursday,
that book.
Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday. That if you haven't watched that video, make sure you watch that video because I liked it a lot. That's when after he did that, that's kind of when I started looking at these gas cans a little bit differently. So that was really fun. The book turned out really good. It really made me think differently on these items right here, which I mean that's the whole purpose is to think outside of the box, right? That would be that.
Yeah.
To just look at something like this a little bit differently than.
Yeah, items that you wouldn't normally think
Right.
to use as home decor, you use it.
Mm-hmm. Because like for these, I mean, I'm sure they're not just laying around everywhere, but.
Well, you can't use it for anything else. It can't be used for gas.
They're not that hard for us to find where we live at. So I don't know if it's like that for everybody, but you can kind of find them in the store all the time, I feel like.
Lorna says she's been to our store and she really loved it.
Oh, yay. Thank you for coming.
We really love it too.
What I told him the other day that I felt like the store looked so pretty right now because of all the fall colors and all the pumpkins and everything that my vendors have just been constantly restocking, and it's just so full. It looks really good to me right now. And I love it when it looks like that in the fall, and then I really love it at Christmas time because there's 74 vendors in there, so every booth is just like usually full of good on Christmas and stuff like that. So.
And she loves Christmas.
I do love Christmas, but I do love all the fall right now. There's a lot of pretty pumpkins and florals and stuff in there. It looks really good in there.
Christmas is my favorite because everybody decorates and adds all that Christmas stuff in, and then
we have the 2 big old trees, and then we have
the 2 metal nutcrackers that are life size,
and then I have
10 soldiers.
A few other displays that I'm wanting to add this year. Okay, so while my cans are drying, what I'm going to do is work on the decoupage paper, going ahead and getting it.
And Kathy, before we lost the feed, I didn't know when the feed was lost. The ornament class is on November the 2nd at 12 p.m. That's on a Thursday. The last day to sign up for it is October 14th, and it's $39.99. You get 6 wooden slices with the strings, and you get 2 ounces of paint. You get 2 ounces of Mod Podge. You get the brushes to do it with, and you also get you get 12 images, so you can make your ornaments 2-sided.
You can double-side them, or you can just use the other images on something else.
But they're ornament size, so they're about 3 inches. It's really cool.
They're really cute.
I wish I had one right here to show to you.
I can grab them real quick because I do know where they are.
Because you're still waiting on that paint to dry. So Missy's going to grab those to show them to you guys. It's really fun. It was really fun making them. I still got a... yes, ma'am. The info and pictures are on our website. The link is in... Well, the link was in the description. I don't know if it's in the new description after the video messed up. I'm going to double check on that. Let me see, YouTube. That threw me off when that got messed up like that.
Can you see them good?
Let's see. Yes. So Missy just painted them all on different she did different ones so she would be able to show them all to you.
So they're just like this. They're the wood slice. And then we'll go through and give them some white paint. And then we have the 12 images. So these will be all the images that you get, all 12 images. But you'll get 6 ornaments. So you can double-side them if you want to. That way, if they're hanging up on the tree and they do the spinning thing, you have both sides. They would make cute little tags on the presents. You could do a lot of different things with them. You could actually add beads to them and make them the end of the beaded garland, you know, stuff like that. But they're really cute. You'll get all the images, so you can do the vintage Christmas or you can do the classic Christmas, whichever ones you like. So I think that'll be a fun class.
Kathy Lazowski said that she wishes Rusty Relics was in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Every time she comes to May's events, she stops by our store and never leaves empty-handed.
Never leaves empty-handed.
Leaving our store empty-handed is kind of hard to do, even for us.
Yeah,
we tend to buy a lot of stuff from our vendors.
Yeah. The majority of the stuff in my house, that's kind of where it comes from, is the store, Rustic Relics. Yeah. Our kids do it. Like just this morning, I was walking through and taking pictures of stuff throughout the store to post on Facebook, and I found this really pretty vase that would make a perfect Christmas gift for somebody. So I was like, went ahead and bought it. And what kind of vase was it? Oh, what did it say?
It was Japanese. I can't remember the bottom.
It is really pretty, really nice, and I was super excited to snag that up. And there's no telling how long it's been in the store, and I just now ran across it. And I'm glad I did, though. So all I'm going to do is just kind of roughly tear around the image. And then what we'll do after that red is dry, we'll just put a little coat of white where our image is going to go, so that way it pops. There's another way that I read that you could do this, and I haven't really tried it yet, and I kind of wanted to today, but I was like, I don't want to do it live and then it not work out, or I do it wrong. I'd rather figure out how to do it that way and then bring it to y'all. But it's where they talked about putting a coat of Mod Podge on the back of your decoupage paper and then painting it white and then putting it on the image, so you don't have to put the white on it. I think that would be really cool. I definitely want to try that. But I'm not going to do it today because I haven't done it yet.
I mean, you could do it. I mean, just because it messes up doesn't mean...
Well, I don't want to mess it up and then mess up my
That's
image.
what makes lives fun.
I mean, I guess.
Is the possibility of a mistake. Because if everything was perfect, then life would be kind of boring.
Well, yeah. I can do one.
Yeah.
We'll see. What I'm going to do is just tear...
Do my favorite one. I did that one last night. I thought it was so cool.
This one?
Yes.
Well, yeah, because we finally printed it out. Yeah. I like this one. I think this one will look really good on the gas can because it has like cans on it and stuff like that. I think it'll look good. I bet this does work out well. Okay, so there's that image. So we'll flip it over.
Is that the one you're going to do it on?
I'm probably going to just do it on both.
Okay. There we go, guys. She's going to experiment on both.
I'm just going to
So let's hope this turns out really good.
Yeah, right. I'm going to put a light coat on the back. So that way it just seals up the decoupage paper.
If y'all have any questions, don't hesitate to ask.
And then once that's dry, then we'll add a coat of the white paint to it.
That will be, I think that's going to look pretty cool. I hope this technique works.
Me too. Me too, since you got me doing it live.
I pressured her into doing it live, so there we go.
Live.
What I like about rice paper is how, as you're working on it, it starts like, especially the outside starts fraying even more, so it becomes even more transparent.
Right. Okay, so I'm just gonna set that to the side and let it dry. And then we'll do this one. Okay, so this one I want to keep as much of the words as possible. So I'm just going to real lightly just get the very, very edges of it, so that way it just has more of a, like a paper look. Like,
Right.
yeah.
Kathy, until this week, we used a inkjet printer, and we would seal the papers both front and back so you wouldn't get any bleed through. And we also used aqueous durable ink. So that's a little harder to find, but finding the right ink is very important if you're going to use an inkjet. Now, this week we went and got a laser jet. One, laser jet's way faster, and it burns the image on top of the paper, so it gives it a different effect. But with our original images, we went through a lot of trouble figuring out how to keep an inkjet from smearing when you use it. And when this ink ran out, we were like, okay, we got to come up with something else.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because the ink's expensive. The treatment that we were using on the paper before and after was not cheap. And this has really streamlined the process. Yeah, it's not cheap either, but it's a one and done. We're one step, we're done. That was the great thing about it.
Right.
And we hope to have a large format printing process in the future, so we can do 24-inch wide by 24-inch wide stuff.
That would be really cool. That would be exciting, especially for like furniture or bigger pieces like that. That would be really cool. But I can work with small stuff for right now.
Yeah. Because, I mean, even if you're printing on an 8x11 sheet, which is typically what we do, since we have to attach our sheets to carriers anyways to make them get through the printer without getting crumbled up, because the rice paper is just way too thin. We're going to experiment with a different type of paper this week, but it actually came in. I ordered 18-pound transparent paper, and it came in 36-pound transparent paper, so way too thick. And it's transparent, but
yeah, it looks cool. I still would like to try it.
It's not usable for if you needed the shape to something like rice paper, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
I think onion skin paper would work really well, but finding it in a standard paper format is really difficult. Anything other than A4, which is 8.5 by 11.
I'm really happy that I got to keep as much of the word because that's how I'm wanting it to go on the can. So okay, same thing. I'm just gonna put a thin coat of Mod Podge on the back of this. Real thin, without trying to wrinkle it up. I think the biggest thing is to not overwork your Mod Podge onto your paper, so that way it's not like going all the way through, right?
That way that becomes stiff.
Yeah, because I am going to need it to go around the can.
Hey, Joan, she's just saw we're live. She's watching from Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Oh, okay, hey.
Kenosha.
Kenosha.
Isn't that Kyle Rittenhouse? That's where Kyle Rittenhouse was?
You're asking the wrong person.
She hit that thumbs up to our channel. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, so it's just like that. Yeah. It looks like I got everything. I just do not want to overwork it.
I did say Wisconsin, right?
I can't remember.
I think so.
Okay, so that one's gonna dry. Let me look at this one. Make sure I'm not.
Yeah, make sure it's not gluing down to the surface.
Yeah, make sure it just needs to finish drying right there, but you can already see where it looks good.
Yeah, it looks good, I think.
And then,
I'm
going to let those keep on drying a little bit more, and then let me look at my cans because...
Yeah, big one is not dry.
The big one is not, and this one is almost dry. Yeah, it's almost dry, but it does not...
More than likely the spot that you're wanting to go is dry, I bet.
Yeah, it doesn't look like I need to put a second coat on it, so that's exciting.
Yeah, because it keeps that rustic look too, where some of that rust is coming through. It looks really good, I think.
Yeah, no, I'm happy with it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's always important. She's happy with it, which means I'm happy with it.
So I kind of want to go ahead.
Oh, you ended up painting the handle.
I did paint the handle of that one. I think that's right when our live ended.
Probably.
When we got kicked off the internet.
Oh, that's when we noticed it.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's almost dry.
So were you going to paint the white on there now, or are you going to just paint the white on the back of the paper?
I'm going to paint the white on the back of the paper, so that way all I got to do is just put the paper on the can, and I don't have to worry about painting the white on the can.
So if you're just tuning in,
yeah,
I talked Missy to experiment with this technique she saw on the live. She wanted to wait, but I talked her
Okay,
into
so normally how I would do it is I would paint the can red and then tear my decoupage paper and then paint where I'm wanting to put the paper white and then putting the paper on top of it. But what I've seen, I haven't tried it yet, but what I've seen is where they put the white paint on the back of the decoupage paper and then they put that image on here, and that's what keeps your image from dulling down, right? So that way it still stays vibrant. So that's what we're trying out. I've never done it before, but we're going to try it this way and see how it works. But I did put just one coat of the Dixie Belle Barn Red on the can. So I have to decide, do I want to distress it or not? Like, I like it like it is, but I don't know if I want to distress it.
Distress the can?
Yeah, just a little bit to bring.
You got a lot of bleed through from the rust. I don't see why you would need to distress it, honestly. Thank you for answering that question, Joan.
I might just do a little bit.
I don't think I've ever been to Wisconsin. I've
never been to Wisconsin.
I was just thinking about that. Because I was thinking about all the places I've been. I've never been to Wisconsin.
Put this over here to the side so it can finish drying without doing that.
But I did grow up a Green Bay Packers fan.
Okay, I'm just using a little bit of sandpaper and I'm just going around the edges. And I just have a wet paper towel that I'm just wanting to do.
And the distressing with the sandpaper doesn't take a whole lot of elbow grease.
It doesn't. It just really wipes off. I don't think I am gonna. I think I'm just gonna leave it like it is.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think it looks really good. I mean,
because I'm gonna go over
right
it with
here,
the wax.
Got this black showing through. I think it looks really good.
Yeah. Because I want my image to go right here. Because I want the handle here, the spout going this way. And then I have like a little bow thing that I did not make, that I found in the back of the store because I could never make something like that, that I want to attach to the can. So
you say it, but you hadn't given it much practice yet.
Cool. I can't make a bow like that. Let me see if it's dry enough.
You got a little wet spot where it's kind of thick at, but you can already tell that the paper itself has got a texture to it. Some grip.
If I turn my mic off, I can heat gun it real quick and get it going.
Well, heat gun it real quick. Didn't you put the heat gun over there?
Yeah, I have the heat gun.
Okay. Do you have it plugged in?
Mm-hmm.
There you go. You're good. So she's going to heat gun that real fast to dry it, because nothing dries anything faster than a heat gun. Also, be careful if you use a heat gun. Right here, I accidentally touched the nozzle for not even a millisecond, and it burned a dog mess out of me. So if you're using a heat gun, be super careful, because it will burn you up.
It doesn't take long to do it. To heat gun it.
Yeah, you're back on.
Okay. All right, so I'm just going to use cotton.
Cotton by Dixie Belle.
Yeah, cotton by Dixie Belle. And I'm just going to put a light coat of white on that.
And all the stuff we're using today, we put links in the description if you guys are interested in picking it up.
Yeah, we sell the paint.
We sell Mod Podge,
the decoupage paper. Yeah.
We make the decoupage
Well,
paper.
yeah, but we have it.
Yeah, we do have it in stock online. Right now. It's not in the store yet. We have a big display that we're going to be rolling out in the store.
Yeah, I just got a new display. So I'm like, I need to fill this up. I want to fill it up with the decoupage paper. I think it'll look really good, really eye-catching.
I think we should keep all seasons up.
I think so too, because
year-round.
I mean, you just like if you're a crafter, you craft for all seasons, right?
Oh, I know we prepare for all seasons.
We do. I had a friend that said today, she was like, "Are you doing fall or?" And I was like, "No, I'm not doing fall no more. I'm doing Christmas." And we just got into fall. But you have to be way in ahead of the game. Oh, I hope this turns out right.
It's wrinkly. I know that.
Yeah.
Just be careful and don't put your image over the wet paint that's on the board.
Yeah.
That way it doesn't mess it up. You know what it's like? It's like that stuff, that those shirt makers use where they put the white ink on the back side and it's like some kind of plastic that melts to the shirt.
Oh, yeah.
I don't really know how that works, but they have some advanced processes for making shirts nowadays.
Mm-hmm. For sure. The good thing about the chalk paint is that it dries fast.
That is the great thing about chalk paint. So if you've never used chalk paint, it dries super quick.
It dries really fast.
It's a easy product to use.
Very forgiving. You don't have to worry about it if you don't like it. It's okay. It just comes right back off until you seal it up. It's workable.
And you can spray it with water, make it go a little bit further, make it go on smooth, make it self-level. Right. That's important to me, is a self-leveling paint. I don't like to deal with anything that's not.
Okay, so my back is white. So I'm going to let that dry up some. I'm going to clean this up so I don't do the same. I don't want to get that on my other image.
That's a great idea, Lorna. That way I don't burn myself every time I mess with it.
What?
She said try a Ranger heat gun. It looks like a mini blow dryer. It doesn't have any exposed metal parts. The problem with ours is, like, I can't just set it down. It will melt stuff.
Yeah.
Like it melted that paint on my desk.
It's a great heat gun. Like, it dries and it works quick, but you just gotta be careful. I mean, I use it. I like it a lot, but you do got to be careful. I just want to make sure that this is all the way dry before I put my decoupage paper down, because this one's almost dry.
I hope that one works on that one for sure, because I like that image the most.
I know, it's really pretty. This is almost dry.
That's almost dry. You just got no paint in it.
The chalk paint dries faster than the Mod Podge for sure.
The Packers lost last night to the Lions.
Our son does not like the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, he likes the Carolina Panthers. I like the Packers because I grew up a huge fan of Brett Favre. I thought Brett Favre was the greatest quarterback since sliced bread.
He was in the car on the way home from football practice, and he was talking about his top 5 teams. I have no clue about NFL. I don't know. But he was just talking about it and everything. And then I was just naming random NFL teams that I do know. And when I said the Green Bay Packers, he just side-eyed me. He doesn't like the Green Bay Packers. For what reason, I don't know. But and it's funny too, because as he's been growing into a young teenage boy, he's been really getting into like any kind of sport, no matter what the sport is. So like he kind of wants to go to NASCAR, and I was like, who would you even pull for? Like, do you even know any NASCAR drivers? But he named a couple, so I was surprised.
Did you look them up to make sure they were real?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I was surprised. I think I can go ahead and decoupage this onto the can and just let that finish drying for a few more seconds before I paint it white.
Here, I'll wave it around.
Because it's
Wave
almost...
it around, wave it around.
Okay, so this is the can that I want to put this image on. So I'm gonna
That's
do
the
it
side you said you wanted
because,
to use.
well, yeah.
Handle to the right.
Okay, so my spout is here, my handle here.
Yep.
And then I just want my image to go right here.
Well, you can already see it's painted white behind it.
It looks good. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is use a paintbrush that does not have white paint on it.
Is that white paint or Mod Podge?
That's white paint. So this is Mod Podge. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is remind myself of where I'm putting my image at. Like that.
Yeah, that's gonna look awesome.
Does that look right?
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm just gonna put a, let me get some more on here. A coat of hodgepodge on here.
Yeah, hodgepodge. I'm
Hodgepodge.
bad about calling it hodgepodge. I get in trouble for it. Hodgepodge.
Hodgepodge, Mod Podge.
Yeah, I call it Mod Podge too. It's Mod Podge.
I feel like when you say it a bunch, it just
rolls together. The words
yeah.
just roll together.
It just is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't help it. Or I can't help it. I know
can't.
that.
All right.
So yeah, I was
I
actually
have
using the heat gun with an attachment to heat shrink some heat shrink tubing to a chandelier that somebody brought in for me to fix.
It's a beautiful chandelier. It's hanging up across from the register at the store in a booth. It's not for sale, right? I think he's just using it to display, to light up his area.
Yeah, no,
okay,
it's
so
not for sale.
the can has these grooves right here, so I'm just making sure to push my paper down into the grooves. And then it has grooves right here too, so again, just making sure that I press it down. Try to get as much of the wrinkles out as possible.
Lorna didn't like the Packers, but she liked Brett Favre.
Okay.
She was a Cowboys fan.
Cowboys fan.
And she says it's always been Mod Podge.
I think his number one pick team was the Dolphins.
Come on, Gavin?
Yeah,
no,
yeah, that's his favorite team, but he was saying his top 5 for the season.
Oh.
I think he was saying the Dolphins. I think they just had a really good game or something like that. All time, almost broke the record score. I don't know. It was a lot of information for somebody who doesn't know anything about NFL. Which is me.
And he talks a lot, so. Only at night, though, like right before bedtime. These kids, they will come in our rooms right at bedtime. We're laying down for us to go to sleep. I'm putting my CPAP mask on, and they're coming in there talking about blah, 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 blah. It's like, all right, guys.
They're funny.
It's hilarious. I told Kaylee the other night that it was like when she was little, she would come in there every night. She would come in our bed, Daddy, I'm scared. Can I sweep in your room? And then, of course, I'm tired. I'll be just like, yeah, go ahead.
All right. So I don't want to overwork it, but I'm just trying to make sure that I get all the wrinkles out. But I'm not going to go over this with the Mod Podge. I want to go over it with the clear coat. So that's where I am at right there.
And the reason why she's doing that is to keep that flat appearance that you get from the chalk paint. Because the Mod Podge matte is flat, but it's got a small sheen, almost like eggshell.
Yeah, it's not flat.
It's not
Mod
truly
Podge
flat.
It's not flat.
Lorna became a Niners fan when she got married. Missy was an Auburn fan before she married me. Now she's an Alabama Crimson Tide fan.
All right, do you want to see? Can you see it good?
Turn it this way some. No, rotate that. There you go. Let me go to the main camera here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That looks awesome.
Does it? Okay, so see, I have...
What do you guys think? Does that look pretty cool?
And then I have these that, again, I did not make. They were in the back of the store. So I feel like that would be really cute, like just hanging on the side. Does it cover up my image?
No, it only covers the top of the house.
Which, I mean,
there you go.
I don't have it attached. I'm just holding it up there.
No, it looks good. You can probably hold it on with a zip tie.
Oh, it's got wire on the back. So you just twist it, yeah. But I thought it would look really cute.
Now, was that the Joe Montana Niners era with Jerry Rice? I used to love watching those guys.
All right, so I'm going to let this finish drying because there's a few more things that I want to do to that one before. All right, so before we're done.
All right, we're going back down to the regular view.
Okay, so this is the Mod Podge is dry. So I'm just going to do the same thing that I did to the other one. So I would, I do suggest it because that turned out really good. And then that saves you from having to make sure that you paint the can white and then coming back through on top of it with the red to blend it back in. If you're not, if you're wanting your white to not be showing. Because I feel like the white would have just been
I think it looks, I think that result turned out really well, actually. Because you're getting some of that red fade through on the spots that didn't get heavily painted.
I wouldn't even know who
And you don't even have to brush back in like I did with the book.
No, because what I do want to do after I seal it up is I want to come through with a little bit of the dark wax and just kind of go around the edges of it.
Right.
So that way the white is not, the decoupage white paper or whatever is not so bright. I want it to match the old rusted can. I want it to be.
Right. I got you.
I want it to look weathered and old because the can is weathered and old.
That was a great era for the Niners, was when Joe Montana and Jerry Rice were teamed up together. I think Steve Young did pretty good too. He was concussion prone. I remember that because when I was a little kid, Joe Montana was like, every little kid wanted to be Joe Montana, including me. Because that dude could throw the football downfield like nothing. And he wasn't scared to run the ball either. But Jerry Rice, holy cow, that's a great wide receiver. I think he's the greatest of all time, honestly.
Trying to make sure I don't get paint on my paper.
So these Fiskars mats come in handy. And the whole reason we even have Fiskars mats is because I used to do graphite drawings, and they would take days, sometimes weeks to complete, and I would tape them to the Fiskars and then use that as my back, so I could so when my hands would get dirty and stuff, it would be on the outside and it wouldn't get on the inside, and I would use a separate sheet of paper up under my hand when I worked to keep it from smearing the graphite, because graphite was what I like to do. Well, I did charcoals for a while too, but graphite was what I mostly did, and that's what I used the Fiskars pad for. And this thing went missing too. So for like years, we couldn't find it. And it turned out Missy's mama had it. She had come over and got it, and she had it for forever. And the only reason I knew it was mine, because on the back side, it says Rodney on it. Because that's back when I used to take that thing to work in Birmingham, and I would take my lunch break and work on it.
I just like them because of how easy they are to clean up.
And you can cut stuff on them and they're self-healing.
Okay, we're gonna let that dry for a minute, and then I'll be able to put it on my can.
What's our other one looking like?
It's looking really good. It just needs to finish drying. I just don't want to overwork the paper. Then I'm going to put my clear coat on it though, and it'll be good. We're not going to be live next week.
Next Friday.
Next Friday, yeah, because one of our girls. Well, we have 2 employees. Our daughter, and then our other girl, Kat. She has to go out of town for the week, so we got to cover her shift. So we have to work Friday at the store.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, because I thought we was doing that thing.
Yeah.
Our live last Friday got canceled because of something happened, and we had to go to Georgia, and
yeah, real quick trip to Georgia,
and we couldn't make it back in time to go live.
Right.
As a matter of fact, we didn't make it back until almost
time for kids to get out of school.
Yep.
But so we won't be live next Friday, but I think we have a video in the bank coming out or something like that for next week. So we won't leave y'all with no video next week. I know that for sure. And I do want to take y'all through the store and just show y'all some of the fall stuff that I'm talking about, all the pretty stuff. So I think I am going to try
That'll need to be a separate video though.
Yeah, I know. Okay. So I do want to do a video like that. Just a store tour, show you all some of the fall that's come in before it all gets flipped over, because in a couple of weeks it'll all be flipped over to Christmas.
Yep. Lorna Jones said, I love how you keep the rust on top of the can. I love that patina. I hate it when people take a beautifully rusty piece and paint over the whole thing.
I'm the same way. I only wanted to paint the middle of the can to give it that. I did not want to touch the top of the can. I like it just like it is. I wouldn't. All I did was clean it up with just some soapy water, and then dried it off yesterday. Like, that was it. That's all I did.
I like to seal rusted pieces with a clear coat.
Yeah.
A flat clear coat. That way it doesn't continue to rust through, but it keeps the surface. And when you touch it, you don't have to worry about getting your hands dirty.
Okay, so that can is going, this can goes this way, so I want this can to go this way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So
makes sense to me.
My decoupage image needs to go on this side. Or this side. It doesn't matter because it's still either way. But
if you're wanting your handle to the left,
if I want it to sit like this,
then you need to decoupage where your hand
this
is.
Side.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go. And you need to come up in the view some.
Well, I'm just trying to.
Or forward. Forward in the view. There you go.
Okay.
Ooh, that's huge. I
yeah,
might need
this
to
one
adjust
is
our
big.
light. Adjust our light real quick.
So I want it to go like right here.
There we go. Yeah, I think that'll look good. It looks good on camera. I know that.
All right, so I'm just gonna put a coat.
And yeah, that's the same Santa from the scene where he's walking away from the tree. I just try to use my assets in different ways so I'm not constantly having to come up with new stuff.
Right. Well, I think it's perfect.
Well, it is new stuff because it's different, but you know.
It's different. I like it. Just making sure I get my Mod Podge in the grooves of the can.
Yeah, I like that swirly. I think it's going to look really good when you get that on Mod Podge on. And that one turned out really good too because you went in the grooves on it.
Mm-hmm. I made sure to press the...
And that's the advantage of rice paper over other papers.
Yeah, because you can do that. You can fit it the way you want it to. Okay, let's see if this is going to...
And again, she's just using Mod Podge as the glue.
All right, so my image on the back has been painted white. And kind of gotta Does it look straight?
It looks straight to me. Yeah, it's straight.
Yeah. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to just kind of make sure I'm pushing it into. Okay, so this is the one that goes down the side. Push it in. Make sure I'm just trying to get as much of the wrinkles out as possible. I don't want it to be really wrinkly.
We should be able to stretch them out with that rice paper.
Mm-hmm. I think the good thing about doing it this way, about painting it white, is that, and especially doing it on a textured can, is that you can work it without the paper being soaked with Mod Podge and then you ripping it. Just like
yeah,
that.
I bet that is an advantage to
I
doing
think it is an advantage, yeah.
Because it did make the paper more stiff.
It did stiffen up the paper, but not so much that you can't work with it. You can't bend it. So I was able to do that. Okay.
See, aren't you glad you did that today on the live stream?
Yeah.
I mean, if you messed up, it would have been no big deal, but you didn't. And anybody who hasn't tried this technique before will know to try it this way, and it might work out for their projects a little bit better.
Yeah.
Than having to paint the whole thing white, paint the back of the paper white. And she if you're just not tuning in, she Mod Podged the paper first.
Yes.
Then painted it white on the back side. And yeah, it's held its color all the way through. It looks really good. And so this will help with not having to paint back in. So
right, so that otherwise I would have had to take the red and go around the edges
and kind of splotch it.
Yeah, into it.
But now it looks like a torn piece of paper
right
on the can. It's really a cool effect.
So there's
all right, we'll go main camera. Let's turn it this way some. Back it up.
And then this is the bow that I did not make.
Yeah, that looks really good.
That I got for this can. And it's got a big old pine cone on it. That's what I like. However that goes. I can't see from this side. But either way.
It looks really good.
I think that's going to look really good.
Yeah, I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good image.
Yeah.
That turned out really well. It's a lot bigger than I thought, too. On camera, it looks smaller, but that's huge.
It's big. I don't have a measuring tape, but
that's huge,
my arm.
That's a huge image.
The elbow. Yeah.
And it's highly detailed.
All right, I'm going to let that one dry. And then I should be able to clear coat this. Okay, so if you are wanting to recreate this, man, you got to go find some old cans.
Yeah, good luck.
Well, I mean, you can find them in stores like ours.
Yeah.
I mean, this came out of my stash, but I have vendors that have these kinds of cans.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
C1's got one.
People use them to decorate just like they are. I mean, I like them, but I just wanted to do a little bit of a spin to it. And then everything that I'm working on is Christmas, so
right.
That's where I'm at. So I'm going to seal it with the clear coat flat.
Flat clear coat.
Flat clear coat. So what I'm going to do...
And the flat clear coat is a true flat,
if anybody's
flat. Wondering.
Yeah.
You don't always get that, but it really is.
I'm just going to... It's going to seal up my image. It's going to seal up my chalk paint. And you don't want to overwork it. It's going to seal up my edges of my decoupage paper.
And that way we get rid of that shine that the Mod Podge left.
Yep. And then I'm just going to go all the way around. And it really doesn't take long to dry.
And it's also self-leveling, so
it's self-leveling, but you just want to make sure that it's not globbed up in any places, because like when it's really globbed up, and I've learned that when I was painting a piece that had a lot of texture and I didn't realize that I had too much of it in that part.
Right.
It kind of gave I don't know what the correct word for it was, a little bit of discoloration.
Where it
was just too much, and I didn't spread it out.
It's got almost a blue hue when you apply it, so you know where you applied it at. That's that advantage of it, I think. So like polyacrylic doesn't have it; it's just clear.
Right.
But this is a type of a polyacrylic paint.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
We just really like it because it's just flat.
I like flat and I like satin too. Like I'll use both of those. I don't never use gloss.
And I always use flat. I like flat. I think it's a really pretty way to paint something, for lack of a better term.
Oh, sorry.
Bless you.
Thank you. All right. I'm gonna let that dry.
Joan says she would love to see my graphite drawing sometime.
Oh, that Nutcracker one.
The Nutcracker.
Yeah, that's the good one. That's the good one. That's the best one. It was.
Nah, that's not the best
yes,
one.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
It was framed. That's how good it was.
The best one I ever did
framed.
was framed as well, but I gave it as a gift.
Mm-hmm.
It was a calla lily, and it was coming up three-dimensionally out of the paper.
Oh yeah.
I loved that drawing, but a friend of mine was sick in the hospital, and she really liked stuff like that, so I gave it to her while she was in the hospital, and she got well, which was awesome.
All right, I'm gonna do the same thing for this one.
But
just gonna
I gave it away, and I've never been able to recreate it. I've tried, but ultimately have failed.
Go up with the.
I think that NOS bottle one's pretty cool, where it's sitting on the car dash.
Oh, yeah. The Nutcracker one is the best. That's the one I like, because you have the image in the.
Oh yeah, because I painted myself. I drew myself in the Christmas ball that's sitting beside the Nutcracker.
Right.
So I read this book by this guy named J.D. Hilberry. Isn't that his name? J.D. Hilberry? Realistic texture drawing. I read that book and I was like, holy cow, I'm going to try these techniques. And they really worked. He's a great artist. And especially with graphite, that guy is the bee's knees.
Oh, if I'm messing up these cameras, I'm sorry.
Like
I'm not trying to.
Everything.
It's hard because these cans are big.
All right, I got it back in
place.
It? Yeah. Just don't bump that arm again, and you'll be all right. But yeah, so our boom arm isn't that tall because it was made for more like small stuff that we do.
A lot of stuff, yeah, but these projects are too big.
Yeah, those projects are way too big.
These projects are too big.
That's up to furniture painting level. You could do a furniture painting on live. I don't know if anybody would be interested in it.
Thing about furniture is once you start, you don't know. It's doable, but yeah.
Yeah, Missy lets the piece take her. When she's painting furniture, she lets it take her in all these different directions.
I just start and then...
There's no like pre-planning. You pre-plan it, but it doesn't matter. It's going to end up something else. It's kind of like the book. You know, I went with the muddied, faded appearance, and I decided against it in the end. So I painted back over to get the way I was to make my vision happen. It just.
Ever since you did that book, I've been thinking of something else that you could steampunk, because I like it. I like how you do that.
I wish the suitcase would have turned out better than what it did back in the day.
You can do another one.
Yeah, avoid transfers altogether and just use decoupage
Use
paper.
decoupage paper. You
Yep.
could have a bunch of different images, like different decoupage papers or whatever. And
layer
then the
them.
ears.
Well, since you can paint the backside of them, make them look so good, you can layer them. Switching to main view. That looks amazing. Zoom in a little bit on Santa Claus. Yeah, he looks really good. She says she's surprised she likes the bows as much as she does. Thought the cans were pretty by themselves. But the bows
do match really good with it, and I think it's because of the natural, like the greenery and the pine cone and that kind of stuff. So they're not fancy or anything like that. I think because it doesn't have like gold in it and stuff like that, I think that's why it works really well for the gas can. I don't have a bunch of my Christmas ribbons and stuff like that out yet, but I did have those. So
I really like how it looks like frayed vellum instead of. It looks like frayed vellum paper instead of rice paper. Let me try to zoom in a little bit more.
I don't know if you can get both of them.
I won't be able to zoom on both. Let me lower the camera some so they can see them. Sorry about that jarring movement there, but I wanted you guys to be able to see. Let me zoom in a little bit. And see how that paper looks like it's cloth or fabric instead of paper? That's amazing. I'll zoom out so you can see the whole thing. Those are turning out really good. I can't wait till you end up putting the bows on them. They'll be complete then.
Yeah.
Just gotta let the paint. Oh no, you're still wanting to wax them.
I'm wanting to put just a little bit of the dark brown wax around the edges of the papers and just around into the curves and stuff of the can, just to bring this down to this.
Right.
For both of them.
Oh yes, to keep the browns and
I'm just wanting,
what other
because like
waxes
this is
have?
red and pretty. I have black and brown, but I think I'm gonna go with brown because there's so much rust up here. I'm not wanting it to be harsh. I'm wanting it to be soft.
Right.
So I'm just wanting to take a little bit of the brown wax and just
smear it on
there. Go around the decoupage paper.
Because those probably stick to those fibers at the edges, so you want to be careful right there.
Yeah. So
Pam said those turned out beautiful. Lorna said they are rustic and gorgeous.
I like them a lot. I'm really glad that I ran across them and decided to go with this route. But if I
it was most definitely a neat idea. I'm really shocked at how well it actually turned out.
And I think these would be really cute, like at a fireplace, or say if you have a cabinet or whatever that you can put stuff on top of. I think that they would be cute sitting up tall like that. Knowing me, I'd have them underneath my table or something. Like we have a turtle, and so we have.
You rolled your eyes.
We have a turtle. Yeah, and so the turtle tank sits on top of what's that table called?
It's an Empire Library table made in 1867.
It's not painted. It's original. It's beautiful, just like it is. But for now, the turtle tank sits on it, and there's nothing underneath it. So these would easily go up underneath that table and.
You should do a home tour one day so they can see all this stuff that we talk about.
A home tour?
Yeah, it's an Empire Tank, 1867, stamped on the bottom.
I'd have to do some housework if I'm going to do a home tour. I'm going to heat gun this so I can so I can wax it. So I can at
I'm
least do
not
that
a
on the
home tour.
video.
It'd just be like you're always describing this stuff, and they can't really see it. So what are you fixing to do?
I'm gonna heat gun real quick.
Okay.
So I can do the waxing.
All right, guys. So she's going to heat gun this real quick, as she just said, and so her audio. So I'm going to try to entertain you for a couple seconds. So yeah, I think I would like to. Debbie says that you're so talented, and she loves watching your process.
Thank you.
Oh, Lorna, our turtle's name is Bumblebee. Bumblebee is, golly, he's as old as Gavin. Because Leah's Missy's sister, Leah got she got Bumblebee, golly, right when she moved back home?
9 years.
9 years ago. So he's been around for 9 years. And, yeah, Bumblebee's his name. And we had a hermit crab that actually survived.
Oh, he just died.
And he just died the other day. But he's been alive for like 3 years now. And he went missing for 6 months. And then Gavin stepped on him in the bathroom, and he lived through that. It's like, holy cow. And his name was...
That one didn't have a name.
Oh, that one didn't have a name.
The other crab died was Master Da Vinci.
Okay, so we had another hermit crab, and the kids named him Master Da Vinci, ripping off of the Leonardo da Vinci's name and adding a K to it.
The crab that just died was, I called him crab that needs to go back to the beach.
Oh, yeah, there you go. So she called him crab that needs to go back to the beach, because we don't like hermit crabs, because they make a lot of clicking noises in the tank, and they hide and stuff. One time I opened the lid to feed it, and it was on the lid. So that was kind of scary. It's like this creepy thing. But yeah, so that's his name, Bumblebee. 9 years old. He's a yellow belly slider. I think that's what they called him. He's low maintenance. I'll say that about turtles. The one thing you want, if you have a turtle, you want to have, if you're going to get a turtle, you're going to want to have a good filtration system. So we ended up having to buy this, like, how much was it? $100. $100 bucks.
It's worth every penny, though.
Yeah, because we hardly ever have to do anything except for change the filters inside of it. Occasionally we have to actually clean it. But the tank itself, the water stays clear, and that's the advantage of getting a real, wow, that looks good. A really good filter.
Okay, if you use a heat gun on top of decoupage paper to, speed the process up, you have to be careful and not heat up your decoupage paper super hot, because all it will do is heat up the Mod Podge and let it release, and it'll bubble and that kind of stuff. So if you use a heat gun or a blow dryer to speed up the process of heating anything up, you want to make sure you keep the distance and not put a lot of heat on your decoupage paper. Otherwise it'll just bubble. I do know that, but it's good. Like, that's what took me so long to dry it, because this all dried good, is what you can see that's flat. That's the flat clear coat. So there's no sheen to it or whatever compared to when it was wet. It's true to its flat. Okay, so like I said, I wanted to bring some of the dark wax, the brown wax, around the edges of the decoupage paper, and I'm gonna grab a brush real quick because
Joan said this is a great live. She wishes she had an old gas can. She used to make fall and Christmas swags, and she should start doing it again.
Oh yes. And You probably can find a can like this somewhere. I mean,
Garage sale.
garage sale. If you know somebody who has a barn,
Especially
something.
older barns. And most people don't use metal gas cans anymore, so.
So brown wax, it doesn't take a lot, and I'm just using a chip brush, and I just barely, I don't know if you can see it, but like, can you see it?
Yeah, you can see it.
So I just barely put some on the tip of it, and then I use my lid and I kind of take some of it off. So all I'm wanting to do is go around the edges of my decoupage paper to give it like an older look, not anything crazy or heavy.
Giving it the old dabby dab.
Yeah, and it's not going to change your red up that much. Plus, we've sealed up our red, so my red paint is not going to absorb the brown wax like it would if it was just freshly raw painted with no seal on it. So when you use a dark color wax, my tip is clear wax it and then go through and put your black or brown wax or white wax, whatever you're wanting to, so that way you can control where the wax goes and stays and how dark you want it, because otherwise once you put it on there, it's really hard to take off.
Right.
So the best thing to do is to put something like clear wax, or like this, we just clear coated it. Mainly we just needed to seal up this decoupage paper because we didn't want to dull it out. So I'm just going over the white part around the edges, just kind of making it look a little bit old.
Well, it's soften it up.
Yeah, soften it up so it's not so hard.
Lorna said it's hard to find stuff like that in the West.
See, I know. That's what I was like. I know it's not easy for everybody. We hear that all the time. We get people from up north and they come in and they're just like amazed at the oil lamps that we have and stuff like that. And we're just kind of like, this is an everyday item for us.
Yeah, we got 3 sitting on our mantle.
Yeah, I mean, we get more excited about it when it's like a rare.
Yeah, rare.
Lamp.
Yeah.
So, but, okay, so all I'm going to do is just kind of dry brush it around the can, so that way it's all. So I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it on camera.
You can see it.
Can you?
Yeah,
okay.
It looks like you're painting it on pretty heavy, actually. Because it's getting in the grooves really good.
Yeah, and then the rusted areas, we're just letting the wax get into that.
Yeah, you can see that it's carrying a theme over really well. And it also softened up the area where the Mod Podge didn't get softened from the flat. Pam asked, we have to reseal it after you wax.
No. You're just going to want to let this cure up. I mean, Dixie Belle tells you 28 days. I've never really had a problem with it curing up after about 24 hours.
Yeah.
It'll just harden and dry, and then it'll be here. So once I get done with this, what I'll do is I'll put it to the side, but like for here, like if I was keeping this for myself to decorate, I would just put it out. And then, because it's not like you're touching it a bunch or picking it up, you know what I'm saying? But for furniture wise, usually after 24 hours, the wax is good for me. So.
Yeah, we buff it afterwards too.
Yeah.
Will you be buffing this piece?
I probably will go over it with a microfiber cloth just to make sure that if I had too much excess somewhere, that way it's not sitting.
The cool thing, I don't know if you guys can see it really well, but like in these grooves, let me zoom this in. The dark wax, well, the light's really bad like that.
Can you see it? You
can see it in the top view. Because I got the ISO locked to keep the colors natural. But if you look up at the top right there, it gets down in the texture. itself, and
Yeah.
that is an added effect to bring that rusty look back where she got paint down in those grooves,
Mm-hmm.
and that way we
There
keep
you
that
go.
original look. But yeah, so the Mod Podge left a sheen right there. You see it?
Yeah, I do see that.
Usually the flat paint covers that up and we don't have to worry about it, but it may have been a little bit thicker. Lorna says you can find gas cans like that. You're just gonna pay for it.
Oh,
What's the average? What the average
20
sale?
bucks.
Yeah, we pay. Yeah, these are $20.
20 bucks is what, if I was putting any on the floor to sell, that's what I would sell it up. So I'm just gonna seal this because I didn't clear coat my handle, so I'm just gonna seal it up with the brown wax. It'll be fine.
Lorna said the wax really adds a lot of character, and I would agree.
I like it with
now Santa looks a lot different.
I just wanted to bring this down to this. I wanted it to make sense. I didn't want this to be perfect.
You can see where your white didn't get on one spot on his beard.
Do you think that's what that is?
Yep, the white wasn't heavy enough.
It feels like it's a little bit wet too, though, because I didn't put a lot of I didn't heat gun the center of this as much as I was trying to do the outside, so that's a good possibility. It's just still wet right there.
I did not. Joan, I did not make a print of it. I took a photo of it because, golly, that was 10, 15 years ago when I did that, wasn't it?
What?
That drawing of the Calla Lily.
No. Yeah, if we did, it would be on an old memory card.
Yeah.
And on an old laptop that doesn't work anymore. So.
Yeah, I bet it would be on that Toshiba laptop.
Does that look right?
And it does not work. Bow's too low. It needs to come up about 3 inches.
I can't.
Right there. I think right there. $45 for a gas can. That's way too much.
For a rusted gas can?
For a rusted old gas can, yeah.
Because like literally both of these are unusable. Like you wouldn't be able to put any kind of fluid inside of these and then walk with them.
I'm gonna go to the front view so they can see the bow better. You want to twist your can this way.
This way?
Nope, other way.
This way?
Yes. There we go.
Can you see my image real good?
Yes. Now you can see it really good, I think. Let the ISO change.
Ooh.
There you go. That's perfect.
That is.
Yes. Joan says lots of people like watching people paint furniture, and she does. Pam said, "Oh my, I need that."
I really like it a lot. It's gonna be hard to take to the store. I have to find me some more.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. All right.
All right, now we go with big one. Big Santa Claus.
All right, there's only a few more spots on this one, so let me dry it real quick. But it's almost dry.
Pam wants to know how much you're selling that for. You're going to sell that for. You don't know? She hasn't decided yet. I'm starting to think that she's going to end up wanting to keep it, and I'm gonna be like, okay, we can't keep everything.
I'm gonna sell it.
Cause like she kept the book I did.
Yeah, I kept the book.
Like, but as I was finishing up, she's like, "Oh, we're gonna keep this." And I was like, "What?" Okay, it is cool, but I mean, that's something I can replicate. Well, kind of. She said Santas are her favorite. If she were you, she would have to keep it too.
Yeah.
You see, that's the thing. She'll say, "Oh, I'll sell it," but then she'll never sell it.
I use it for display in the store.
Yeah, that's what she'll do.
That's what I like to do.
She'll put some crazy price underneath it and use it as a display because she doesn't want to sell it. And sometimes that backfires.
Sometimes it does.
She made her laugh out loud.
Sometimes it backfires on me. Sometimes, yeah.
You'll be like, okay, yeah, I'll put $100 on this. Nobody will buy
it for that.
Bam, it's gone. Where'd that gas can go? Somebody bought it today.
Yeah. Okay, so I just focused my heat gun around the edges to make sure I'm not too much worrying about that dry. And then there was just a few more spots that were a little bit wet, so we did that. So we're going to do the same thing on this. I'm just going to touch the edges of it to give it a little bit of age.
You can never go wrong with dabbing your wax or... Joan wants to know if you have an idea of what you're going to ask for them.
I don't. Oh, I don't know.
The pressure's on now.
The pressure's on.
The pressure's on. You made these things and the pressure is on.
Oh. I don't know. I don't know.
Look at her. She can't figure it out.
She's
so busy being blushing now. She's blushing because you guys are asking how much she's wanting for it.
I don't know. I can sell you the rice paper.
That's funny. I like the way the paper edge looks too, Joan. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I like it.
Pam says she's got first dibs on the short one.
First dibs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whenever you get ready to come up with an idea. I don't know why I said it like that. I have a bad habit of using my redneck words.
Let me see if I can, yeah. All right, so same thing. I'm just going to take my brown wax and go around the edges and tie it up. Okay, so but the thing about this can is it's got the swirl in the middle, so
you're going to want to brush.
I want to brush it in the direction of the swirl, so I'm just going to go around and do this section first. Let this brown wax get into these rusted spots.
And that really, the using the dark wax, it gets down into the small nooks and crannies on the piece and really helps. I don't know.
It just gives it that age, you know, that you're looking for.
Yeah, it helps.
After putting a fresh coat of paint on it, you're just...
I'm really digging the way it looks. I also like how this top piece, they used to use that stuff.
Yeah, whatever they put in it, that's
well, that was a kerosene can, but they put some kind of sealant on the top of it.
So I'm going to do this section like this.
Pam says she's from Louisiana, North Louisiana, so redneck words are the best.
There you go. You'll hear them around here.
When I worked at Security Engineers, we had to go to Louisiana and look at a hotel for security camera systems. Theirs weren't working so well, and while I was there, I went ahead and fixed the problem before we tried to bid the job.
We had a customer that just moved here in the store the other day, and she moved here from Virginia.
Virginia? Mm-hmm. That's a good move.
That's a lady that I was overloading with information of all the places that she needed to go to.
Oh, yeah. When I was like, oh, yeah. So Missy's telling her all this stuff.
Like,
and I'm
like,
you
got to go here. Do you like this?
I'm like, did you miss something? After the lady left the store, I said, did you miss anything?
Yeah. There's still more places that she needs to go, but I started out like, small.
You started her with May Made It. You started
So Charming.
So Charming.
Durbin's Peach Park.
Frozen
Goat.
Neighborhood Grill.
Yeah.
Mad Dogs.
All the places.
And she did this in like the time span of like a half a minute.
I literally
like,
overloaded the woman. I know I had to. I had to. I was like, just follow us on Facebook. But it was exciting because she was like, oh, we just moved here. I'm so glad I found you. I was like, and she said she moved here from Virginia. So I thought that was cool. Somebody else in the store that just came in just moved here too. So I thought that was cool.
That is.
Yeah.
Because this area in general is really quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Peaceful, I would say.
I think Clandon, where we live at.
We live in Jemison.
Yeah. I think that's good.
So, 10 miles away from the store.
Can you see it really good?
You can. It's still a little too dark around the edges of the paper still.
What do you mean?
You'll see it when you rotate it around.
I just feather it.
And we're always surprised when somebody's lived here their whole life and they don't know our store's there. It's like, holy cow. Really? Now, when we were growing up, it was Bennett's department store.
Before that, it was Watson's.
And those ramps, if y'all have been in our store, those ramps that move and squeak and all that, that's been there since it was Bennett's and probably before. And I used to jump on those when I was a kid because it would move. And Mr. Culpepper, he was the manager there when I was growing up. He would just look at me with his salt and pepper mustache and say, "Don't be running in the store." I'll never forget that. That was where you'd go to get Nike shoes or
you was somebody if you was going to Bennett.
yeah, Levi's pants.
Yeah.
I got my first real baseball glove I got at Bennett's before I was old enough to use my dad's old glove. Once I was able to use my dad's glove, not my dad's, it was my Uncle Ray's. Once I was old enough to use my Uncle Ray's glove, that's when it was on.
Does that look good?
Yeah, it looks really good actually, and it's not blocking the image at all.
I just put it on top because this handle isn't quite like my other handle. Number one, it doesn't have the knob or anything like that. So all I'm doing is just attaching it to the...
I really like that piece on there. What is that? Is that that's called a Christmas swag, isn't it?
Yeah. It was in the back of the store, so I just went with it.
That's all what that chain on that lamp, on that chandelier was called too, a swag. And I was like, what? Let me switch to main camera.
Can you see
there we go.
Good?
There we go. You can see everything you're doing now.
Yeah.
That is looking really good, and you softened up the edges around the
paper. So because I sealed it with the flat coat, I was able to just kind of use my cloth and just dab it and take some of the wax back off. So now you just let it sit for a good 24, hours. And I don't know if you can get
that pic just fell.
Yeah, it's because it's on the handle.
Oh yeah, you got it different. You got it upside down.
It's on the handle, so my handle is going this way, so I don't have it. Either way.
Now he's blocking Santa's head.
Well,
it's good. If you could make the handle stay up, it would be even better.
It would be better.
There you go.
But
that looks great.
Yeah.
Scoot it back. Oh, I'll just move the camera. Yes, I like it. It looks really good.
All right, guys. So go find some gas cans.
That's easier said than done, apparently.
Some gas cans. Or, you don't even have to, it doesn't have to be a gas can. It could be just like a metal pail or something like that. a big old bucket or like a metal bucket or something like that, you could easily do this with, where you could paint it red and you could put your floral swags on top of it, or you can put spindles inside the bucket and tie a ribbon to it. You really could find a lot of things to put these images on. So I do hope that this inspires you to, you know, do something like that, or to look at something like a gas can or a pail or bucket or whatever, and just think differently about it.
Because the possibilities are endless, really.
Oh, yeah.
Especially
So,
when you're using
just
paint,
some paint,
decoupage paper.
Decoupage paper, and there's your a brand new, whole new image. Reusing the old. I like it a lot. I do.
Pam said, "Yep, she's keeping them."
I probably will.
I told y'all.
Yeah.
I knew it.
All right, so that's it.
That's it?
Yep. If you're interested in doing the ornament class, you can get on our website and sign up for that, because that's coming up soon. If you're interested in any of the products that we use today, you can also find those on our website with more, because we do have more. And then we won't be here next week, but we're going to work on leaving y'all with some videos to watch while we manhandle the store.
Yep.
We got a lot of things going on. We got the fall festival coming up that the city's doing. I have a scarecrow pumpkin that I got to create. So fun stuff, fun stuff. And that's it.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff.
October's
Always
busy.
October, November, December.
And then we
Whew.
we get ourselves involved in a lot of stuff too. So
We're like, yeah.
we'll do that.
We have all the time. We're good at it. No, it's a lot of fun. We do enjoy it. We do enjoy participating in the community events and stuff like that. So it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
All right, guys. We'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a wonderful day, and thank y'all for watching our video.
For watching. Yeah.
If you have any questions, you can always email us at the store or send us a message on Facebook.
Yep.
Facebook is probably the easiest way to get in touch with us.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
Bye, y'all.